And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Was It Really That Bad? With your host, Amazing Amanda, and of course, the Uncanny Omar. How's
Hey,
everyone? Oh, yeah, he gets to talk to you sometimes. How is
sometimes
everyone doing this evening? I hope you all have a beverage. I know Omar has his, I
I
think,
do. I do. Yep, I'm drinking
Red
beer.
Stripe.
Well, this
And I
episode's
hope
not brought to you by Red Stripes. I wasn't going to say any names.
Oh, okay. And I hope that everyone here is doing wonderful. And I know you're all excited to talk about Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, so
So let's go ahead and start. Go ahead.
so let's talk about Spider-Man 3. We put up a poll this past weekend on Sunday night, as we usually when we do it, and we let all of you all vote for what lowest rated movie according to different websites we're going to watch. And we decided to make it just a Spider-Man theme one. So we put the two lowest rated Spider-Man movies up there. So it was either between this Spider-Man 3 by Sam Raimi, 2007, right?
Yes, 2007. Actually,
Or
May 4th. So we're really celebrating it on an
wow,
anniversary tour because
wow,
it's.
it's an anniversary weekend, huh?
Mhm.
Or The Amazing Spider-Man 2 by Mark Webber. But it was close. Like for a day and a half, it was 50-50. So we were like, oh man, are we gonna have to watch both movies? Maybe. But in the end, Spider-Man 3 prevailed.
And I still watch
So
movies. Damn it!
what? You watched Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I was like, I just have to watch it after I watch this one.
So let's talk a little bit about this movie.
Sure.
Um,
Give you some stats on it.
let's talk. Yeah, let's we'll look at some stats, and I also want to talk about, of course, when we do this, like the good things that we found in this movie.
Yes.
I've only seen this movie one time, midnight showing, opening night, and I hated it. I hated it. Like I wasn't even. And before I give my score when I do this, I wasn't even
Mhm.
the biggest fan of Spider-Man 2. I thought Spider-Man 1 was good. It was a good origin story. It was hokey, but it was Sam Raimi hokey. I
Yeah.
thought Spider-Man 2 was more hokey in that Sam Raimi style. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Evil Dead and Army of Darkness, so I was good with that. So I had my expectations kind of high when we watched this, and I was pretty upset. How about you? How did you feel about this movie when you first watched it? Did you go? I assume you went to the theater, right?
Actually, I don't think I actually saw this in theaters. It came out in 2007,
Mm-hmm.
right at the height of my college career. My roommates and friends weren't into these types of movies, so if it wasn't super bad, I wasn't seeing it in theaters. So I think the first time I actually ended up seeing this movie probably was once it came out on DVD.
Wow.
And I don't think
Okay.
I had any opinions about it either way. I don't remember liking it that much as Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
2 for me was definitive, so much so that I even put Tobey Maguire on my uh, mural of men that I had a crush on in 2004 because of that movie. I don't know why I was thinking that. I think I just like Spider-Man, but that's another conversation. So I don't know if I don't think I felt one way or the other about it. I just didn't care for it. It wasn't my favorite Spider-Man at the time.
Okay. So now let's talk about it. This is years later, 2020, 13 years after it premiered. I watched it again on Blu-ray. I've had the Blu-ray for years. My friend Sheena bought it for me many years ago. She bought me the box
Mhm.
set, and I was like, "Thanks. I'll get to watching that sometime." So I actually got it, put it in today, and I watched it. And then I ended up watching Spider-Man 1 and 2 back to back just to see the all-around trilogy. So let's see what's going on. Give me a little behind the scenes about this movie, how it was made, who the writers were, because I know you got all those
Yeah.
stats, and then we talk about.
So the main two writers were actually Sam Raimi and Ivan Raimi. So Sam Raimi actually was one of the main writers on the film, and
Mhm.
as well as the director. It came out in 2007. Ended up making about 336 million domestically.
Okay.
So not one of the highest when it comes to Spider-Man films, but worldwide it made about I think about $1 billion. So it's
A
still
billion? That's
yeah
pretty damn
over the
good.
life over the lifetime of the movie. So it did pretty well. It did higher than Spider-Man 2. In fact, both ASM movies didn't break $1 billion worldwide. So his all three of these Spider-Mans did, and then of course Tom Holland's have, but his technically Homecoming just eked out $1 billion, but yeah, main Spider-Man 2 did not do well at all at the box office.
Okay.
So let's see.
So
This is
Jesse's saying 890 million, but honestly, when you get to 890 million, you might as well round up to $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's what billionaires do. If I made $890 million a year, I'd be like, yeah, I make $1 billion a year.
Yeah.
Poor people don't know the difference. I don't. So, what Sam Raimi's third movie, and I remember after this movie was over, there was a rumor of Spider-Man 4. They had contracts.
Yeah, so they had contracts. They were supposed to do Spider-Man 4, but after multiple revisions, Sam Raimi was not happy with it. I don't think Sony was happy with it. There's some disagreements behind the scenes, of course. And I think Tobey Maguire was ready to step out of the role too. Remember, he hurt his back in the second one, or filming the second one, so he had all those issues. So in 2010, they canceled it, and it was supposed to come out in 2011. So they never even filmed or did anything with it because they couldn't get the screenplay right.
Okay, so let's talk about this movie in a quick summary, and then break it down by what the hell happened and what we liked about it, and then what went wrong. You say
quick, but how can you do this movie quick when there's like 800 different storylines we've got to kind of get together?
Wait for it.
Omar and I discovered overlays and with GIFs today, guys. So get ready.
I'm gonna let her have fun. Like, okay, so the story starts out like every one of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man story. It is Peter Parker doing a monologue. Spider-Man, you may say I'm a superhero. Everybody loves Spider-Man. Kids are like, oh, Spider-Man's so cool. And Peter Parker, being played by Tobey Maguire, is like, yeah, he really is. Him and MJ have a date. She's a big Broadway star. Her first breakout role in a Broadway play. She's singing. They have dinner. He's trying to make amends with Harry. 10 minutes into the movie, him and Harry are fighting. Because remember, Harry found out that he was the one that killed his dad. So Harry's like, no, you're wrong, Peter. You killed my dad, remember? And Peter's like, no, let me explain what happened. So, they get into a big fight. We have James Franco playing... was he even the Hobgoblin? What was he called?
In IMDb, I think he's just called, or people were just calling him the second Green Goblin. They weren't even calling him Hobgoblin. When I looked at different reviews and stuff, no one was referring him to the Hobgoblin.
All right. I don't know what happened to the costume designs, but he looked like one of those SSX characters from back in the PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast days. Yeah. So the new Goblin is what everybody's saying. Okay, so new Goblin.
Yeah, they call it the new Goblin or something like that.
Yep. So the new Goblin and Spider-Man fight, and Spider-Man hits his head, and Harry Osborn gets temporary amnesia.
Yes, he does.
Just temporary amnesia as far as like the last two movies and what's happened. Yep. So he's out of the picture. So that's actually pretty cool. I thought Sam Raimi did a really cool thing there.
I didn't like that part.
Because he's
concussion and forgetting everything.
No. I don't like that at all. But I like the idea of the psych out of this is the character that has been set up since Spider-Man 1 that will eventually become his arch nemesis. 10 minutes into the movie, you're like, I guess he's not going to be the bad guy for this movie. Cool. Let's introduce another bad guy. So we're introduced to Sandman. Marco had just escaped prison for a crime that he committed that ties into Spider-Man's origin. And he gets caught up in this weird experiment where they thought a bird had flown in, but it was a human being. Started it anyway. And that's actually visually really cool when he turns into Sandman. That was pretty freaking awesome. And he gets these powers. Police are still chasing him. And it's all because of his little girl. He wants to get back to his little girl. And what's going on, Chris? And everybody in the chat, by the way. We're just doing a quick recap of the movie. And because she has the disease and he needs money. And that's why he was robbing things. Now, you're like, okay, cool. We got a new bad guy. Sandman. Yep. Amanda, take it from here. You're really good at this.
Yeah, I was like, well, now where are you?
You got
Now
this.
we have Sandman. Our third villain that is introduced is Eddie Brock. Well, actually, prelude to that, our third villain is actually the Venom or Venom. I heard Omar used to call him symbiote.
We're gonna do that, huh? Okay.
Symbiote that had crash
Oh, you mean symbiote?
symbiote that had crash landed in the park and had made its way into Peter Parker's apartment because Peter, who has spider sense, but didn't sense something falling to Earth like a, you know, comet or whatever with a symbiote inside of it, um, manages to get this thing back to his apartment. So why is that important? Because the legendary Eddie Brock
Legendary.
is Eddie Brock Jr. is now a new rival for Peter Parker at the Daily Bugle. He wants to have a staff job just like Peter Parker as their photographer on staff, not just a freelancer. And he's kind of cocky, dating currently their Gwen Stacy, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Hmm. Oh my
And
God! Probably the best part of this movie. Jesus, she was gorgeous, or is. And I always found it funny and ironic that she was casted because she's naturally a redhead as the
yeah, no,
blonde, and Kirsten Dunst is
she's naturally
casted as the
blonde.
redhead. But man, I remember her from what was the people the village.
The Village, that's what I remember her
Yeah,
from.
but in this movie, I was like, wow,
Brian loved The Village.
she is gorgeous. But anyway, not only that, but you're quickly introduced to this relationship. Like
Yes,
within less than
minutes.
2 minutes. Like it's like, hi, I'm Eddie Brock. I'm dating your daughter, Gwen Stacy.
Daughter who has a modeling gig up there. Yeah.
And then Captain Stacy's like, what? And you're like, Captain Stacy, Gwen Stacy, and Eddie Brock. Okay, cool. We're gonna
There's
fast forward through these introductions.
Yes, and we get a glimpse of Gwen Stacy in Peter's biology class with Dr. Connors or science class. I don't know what kind it is, and so you can see like I thought they were gonna say she's smart, but I guess she's not really smart. She's just in his science class because she answers a question and they exchange a cute glance. But obviously, because of Sandman, he has to save her life essentially, and that's kind of how all these stories intertwine, I guess. Sandman is looking for money now that he knows he has this power and he knows he's strong. He goes after some money and this ensues. And oh no, that's not what happens. That happens at the Spider-Man day. Sorry, a crane goes haywire and almost kills Gwen Stacy, and of course, Spider-Man saves Gwen Stacy. So what do they decide to do? They decide to give him the key to the city because he saved.
No, not him, or not they. It's her. She's like, I'm gonna give him the key to the city.
Which I'm still not quite sure what her role in the city is, except being the daughter of the
captain of the police force.
Who doesn't seem like he's wants to get the key to the city.
Well, the best part is like during all this, Mary Jane and Peter Parker are having problems, right? And they've never been. I just literally rewatched all three of them. And honestly, they never made a good couple. Like, they're kind of horrible for each other.
Yes.
So, he is kind of a piece of crap to her. They're sitting at dinner. He is oblivious to her life. He doesn't... It's not like he
has all this great advice to give her, but...
Well, it's funny because, like, this is a guy with the spider sense, and you know, he's a superhero, but he is completely oblivious when it comes to women and what's going on. So...
Hold on. No, Freddie. She's not the mayor. She has modeling gigs and she goes to college.
Are you saying that mayors don't go to college or were models?
New York City wouldn't hire a 20-something-year-old to be their mayor.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Campbell.
I would appreciate him. I'm really happy that he's in the movies.
All three of them. I love the way that he was casted as different characters too. So. You get to meet these characters, and yeah, he's treating her like crap. And then out of nowhere, he's like, "Hey, why don't you kiss me? They're gonna love that." While your girlfriend is out there watching you. Yeah, good call, Peter. So they kiss him and Gwen. So this symbiote that came to Earth has been attached to Peter Parker's scooter, right?
Yes.
And now it starts becoming like part of him, right? And
Uh-huh.
the craziest part, the weirdest part about this movie that's, I don't know what happened to the edits, he never acknowledges the fact that this is weird. Oh, an alien thing just became my new suit.
Yeah,
He
that's
was just like, cool, right?
yeah, he never he there's a brief
Welcome
time.
to the channel, horror
Hi,
fandom.
horror fandom. He never ever once brought it up.
She's at home watching the good Spider-Man movies. Go ahead. Go ahead, Amanda.
She like he only does it once with Dr. Connors, where he brings it to Dr. Connors to look at. That's it. And they don't even go into it, like explore its origins or anything at all, which I think was a missed opportunity. But then again, there's so much crammed in this movie. Maybe that was,
Yeah, and honestly, that's just a little nitpick. I just found that it was really strange that he never acknowledges that this.
Edit things out though to
How
cut down time. I mean,
maybe this
when
is a
you're trying
bad
to cram
idea.
everything in- Yeah.
So we get to the big revelation, right? We get the fight between him and Sandman because him and his Aunt May go to the police department. The police department inform them that, hey, by the way, we were wrong. Your uncle was not killed by this guy. Your uncle was actually killed by Flint Marko, who is now Sandman. Spider-Man's like, what? How did you miss that? And they were like, I don't know, man. We're just not the best police officers, apparently. So they're tying it, and honestly, we never got to see Uncle Ben get shot. So I'm okay with this retcon.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's not the comic book. I get it. So we find out through Peter's. We see it through Peter's eyes that Flint Marko, before he became Sandman, shot Uncle Ben, like mercifulness, like just
straight
shot him, right?
Yes.
Later on, you find out what really happened, which is really stupid, but whatever. So he fights with his new black suit, fights Sandman, right? And it's pretty crappy because of the CG. And then Sandman gets drowned by water, and you're like, oh, well, shit, maybe Sandman's not the villain. Okay, maybe Venom's the villain.
So then Peter decides that he likes this new suit. And he's going to keep this new suit for a while because he, I guess, likes the way it makes him feel. Because keep in mind, at this point, Mary Jane has kind of broken up with him, or she's mad at him because of the whole, when they were at dinner and he was going to propose, she was having a really bad day because she just got fired and everything's happening. And then Gwen Stacy just happens to show up at the restaurant. And of course, he had already kissed Gwen Stacy and he couldn't see what the big deal was. And Mary Jane's pissed off, so she leaves. So they're having,
and he wants to propose to her.
Yeah, he did.
Like he's like with Bruce Campbell,
Jane's ring, no less.
With Bruce Campbell at his side, hiding the ring, he's like, "I'm gonna ask her to marry me." And Bruce Campbell's like, "Of course, I know all about love. I am French. You can tell by my mustache." So it doesn't happen though. He doesn't get to propose to her because she is angry with him. He doesn't understand her. He is oblivious to her. And I feel like a lot of this, they probably just need couples counseling because the couples counseling is going to be like, just talk to each other. Don't just assume things, right? Yes. She's angry because he doesn't acknowledge the fact that she is failing at her career, but she never told him that she was fired. Remember, he found out through Harry.
Because she saw that he was so happy. Yeah. So meanwhile, who does she turn to? She turns to Harry Osborn because he still is
Who, by the way, James Franco, I just rewatched these movies, was horrible in 1 and 2. In 3, I think he was just stoned out of his mind and didn't care. So his version of somebody that has amnesia is somebody that is just oh my god, he is so bad in this. It's actually kind of works. I don't know why. It made me laugh so much because it's so ridiculous and over the top.
He's not the worst Harry Osborn. I mean, yeah.
But anyway, but it's like he didn't give a shit. Like he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Whatever. I have it under contract. Oh yeah, he was horrible in 1 and 2. Like horrible. In this, he might actually be passable because the movie doesn't take itself seriously. All right, so moving on. Now James Franco and Mary Jane are bonding, and they have this ridiculous out of nowhere.
romantic comedy scene.
Horrible.
It's adorable.
No, that scene. I remember in that movie theater. That scene made me laugh. I'm like, what the hell's happening?
You know how much this movie made me and Tommy laugh upon rewatch? I think I've enjoyed it so much more rewatching it.
Well, it doesn't. Like, I'm just saying. Like, I remember watching this, and I'm like, that scene doesn't even fit in here, and I believe
have you seen him be what's his name from The Room? Because that's pretty fantastic.
You know what? If you had told me, if you had told me while I was watching this movie that James Franco would one day play Tommy Wiseau, I would believe it because he acts so weird in this movie.
So like Tommy, yes, in this movie he's like Tommy Wiseau. He's like out of place.
So James Franco and I'm sorry, Mary Jane
Michael,
and Harry Osborn.
Just took me a second. I've been drinking some wine.
Harry Osborn and Mary Jane are now kind of flirting with each other. They kind of dig each other, but they used to date. Peter Parker, of course, now has the black suit. Mary Jane just broke up with him. This new blonde that he just ran into.
She didn't officially break up with him yet.
Well, we haven't gotten there.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there. So Mary Jane and Franco, Harry, as they are bonding, they go ahead. Oh, hi, Omar. They go ahead and they kiss, and she realizes the mistake and runs out. And all of a sudden, the psychological aspect of Harry takes over, and all of a sudden his father is talking to him again, reminding him of his true purpose, and his memory comes flooding back.
And that goes back to Spider-Man 1 when Willem Dafoe delivered that actually really amazing scene where he's talking to the mirror and kind of in a Gollum kind of way is acting like two different characters. You have the Green Goblin voice, and then you have the Norman Osborn voice. Yes. Pretty cool. So I get it.
It's funny because if you watch Screen Junkie's Honest trailers, they actually talk about how the Gollum effect is very present in all three of these films, where there's always a villain who's talking to like another part of himself. Doc Ock did it when he talked to his little thing.
Oh, his arms? Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous. And that's why this movie kind of makes sense. Okay, so
then after that, he goes ahead and he finds Mary Jane and says, "You're going to do something for me." So that's when she goes, calls Peter. I'm sorry, I don't know why my daughter's crying, and breaks up with him.
She did not like this movie either. She didn't like the chemistry between James Franco and Kristen Dunst. So while Amanda is trying to calm her daughter, this is going to be pretty interesting because that never works with me when I try to calm my kids down. It's that mother's touch, right? Where the hell was I? Oh, wait, she was doing the thing. I wasn't doing it.
There's no spiders, honey. I'm talking about Spider-Man. Here, watch my phone. Sorry, I'm a really bad mom right now.
No,
she's my phone. So, anyways, sorry for the interruption, guys.
She saw Topher Grace act.
She did. Here.
You know what? I can't wait to talk about that because
we are going to talk about all that. Okay.
I actually have a change of heart about that.
I'm so sorry.
Regardless, they end up breaking up. Spider-Man's like, cool, whatever. I don't need you, MJ. I got a new suit. I'm flirting with the. Was she Russian? Like the girl,
yeah, the little Russian or Ukrainian
dude. That
daughter.
I will say, I understand that this movie's supposed to be cringy, but that and the dancing scene with the twist might be the most cringiest parts of the movie. Where he's talking on the phone. He's like, "You got some cookies for me? Go get me some milk. I'm gonna eat chocolate chips on those."
Go get some notes. He's like, "I want some more nuts. Go make me another batch."
What?
Like, so terrible. It was awful.
But all right, let's continue. So of course, with Amanda, you're in charge of the overlays now. So what do we get to? We got to talk about this.
Which someone earlier in the chat mentioned, and I think I highlighted and let it go because I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But
please, by all means.
On YouTube, the video of Peter Parker's dance without the music, and I have that pulled up to like play it as a share screen if anyone wants to watch that because it's hilarious. But I don't think it does.
By all means, let's just show exactly what we're talking about. That scene, right? Yeah. So we get this, and honestly, when I was watching this in the movie theater,
don't forget this too. We also get this. No, not that.
Oh, that's actually a really good scene, honestly.
That's not what it was. Where's my
Damn it, Amanda. You had one job. You had one job, Amanda.
Anyways, okay, keep going.
I don't know where I was, but So we get the dancing scene. We get the ridiculous scene of him with Gwen, and he
Yes,
purposely takes her out to the club where his girlfriend is singing. And again, he acts like a douchebag and starts playing the piano,
that
while
one.
Mary Jane's like, "What are you doing?" And then we get this amazing shot right here, right here,
Or
this way. Yes. Where did that air come from? Oh my goodness! Look at her face.
I
Wow.
don't know. That's
Wow.
ridiculous.
What is up, Pete? But
Dig on this.
I do remember this though. I do remember being in the theater and the audience gasping when he accidentally hits Mary. No, not accidentally. He hits Mary Jane. And I remember the audience
Yeah,
gasping,
that was
and then I was like, "Well, maybe this movie just got dark and turned around, so it's having the effect on the audience." And you did something right when the audience reacts that way.
whoa, yeah.
Like they couldn't believe that he hit her. So,
Not only
uh,
does it sexy air powers, he also is able to play the piano and dance. Things that I guess the symbiote will give you if you apply if you use it. Is I didn't know symbiote could play the piano either, so that was a new thing on me.
you know what? It's a different symbiote. So
Amen. Sorry.
now we get the chance after hitting her. He realizes that, man, that's not me. I'm not Peter Parker. So I kind of get that, and we get this really awesome, like visually awesome scene. I love it. This is really
Yes,
pixelated, but
and
I
you
thought
have
this was visually freaking amazing when he's ripping the costume by the bell. Right? I thought that was really cool.
yes, but meanwhile, in this church below is apparently Eddie Brock asking God to kill Peter Parker,
Well,
which is kind of weird.
he's
Okay,
Catholic like I am. We make
sure,
wishes
he's
like.
Catholic, and he hears Peter's voice, I guess, because me and Tommy made the. How could he see his face from all the way up there? That'd be impossible.
Oh my
Um,
god! If you're
he
if
might
you're gonna
have
if you're
recognized
gonna
his voice.
nitpick the movie, there are so many worse things.
Well, I know we were just like, what? And of course, because the sound of the bell kind of knocks the symbiote off of Peter, and it ends up on,
Oh yeah.
and we
So,
get
Venom.
yes,
We finally get our
watered down
Venom on
version.
screen.
Yes, not the yeah, and never have I, and I didn't, and I wasn't a big fan of Tom Hardy's Venom, but never have I appreciated it more until I rewatched that Venom.
Okay, so Sam Raimi, you fooled me. I thought Hobgoblin, I'm sorry, New Goblin was the new villain. Nope, Sandman's the new villain.
Nope,
Venom's
it's
the new villain. Okay, so Venom, got it. So Venom is now after Peter Parker. But we find out that Sandman's still alive. Cool. Venom's like, hey, by the way, oh my god,
I don't know how he found him, but okay.
Topher Grace. Remember when I said the Green Goblin, like,
Jesse Eisenberg, where he plays the same type of character in every movie.
yeah, and it's really
I saw that
adorable. Like when he was trying to make a menacing voice, and honestly, I kind of dig his Eddie Brock. It's a different Eddie Brock. It is nothing like the comic book. It's nothing like the new movie, but it actually fits this type of
world.
movie.
Yeah,
It actually it's like this version of like a dorky Peter Parker
because this
that
is
is actually
Peter Parker, so it fits
right
that
that
Eddie Brock would be the same.
cheats and lies to get his way, and I kind of dig that. Right? So, and it's still for Grace, whatever. So,
I was Grace at the time because I loved In Good Company with him and Scarlett Johansson and Dennis Quaid. God, this movie was really made for me.
okay. I can't even remember what happens next. So Venom and Sandman team up
MJ.
because, of course, that's what you do.
Because he knows it's Peter Parker now, so he kidnaps MJ, and traps her in a taxi cab above this skyrise that's being built with this message. You know, come on, Spider-Man, come get me. And all the news guys are reporting it. So that's, of course, where Peter sees it. And Sandman is keeping the cops away. And so Peter, what does he do? He goes to, let's not forget, he did have one last fight with Harry, in which he blew him up. Where's that? Is that in where you gonna cry? You gonna cry? Which there's an amazing Instagram profile called Toby in the MCU, and right after Far From Home, they have a really cute where Peter Parker in Far From Home's crying to Happy, that scene, and instead of Happy, it's the Tobey Maguire, and he's like, "You gonna cry, little Iron Man Jr.?" And it's so funny.
Wait a minute, a horn dog? What?
Oh,
Me?
I have crushes on many men.
I've got crushes on many women. Sure.
Is this from the fight? Is that from the fight? Either way, this is a phenomenal.
That's the. Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna cry?
Yeah, where he's gonna fight Harry.
That is beyond ridiculous.
Yeah. So,
because he ends up like blowing up his face, like he's scarred, right? Like kind of like Phantom of the Opera now.
Yes.
Harry Osborn hating Peter Parker, making Mary Jane break up with Peter Parker. And I really don't even understand that story arc because what was the point of making him have amnesia? Why didn't you just make him the villain that just manipulated people?
That's what I have in my notes. That's what I wrote in my story when I did my third Spider-Man.
All right. I'm not stealing your fanfic.
I know,
so,
but I'm just saying
now,
that's how it should have been done. Anyway,
Peter goes and talks to Harry, and he's like, Harry, I need your help. We've been friends forever. I'm sorry I fucked your face up. And Harry's like, nah, man, you messed my face up. So, Omar, when you're talking to David, this is David at Marvel, is it like Smeagol, Gollum, Norman Osborn? No! It's not! David is a real person, guys! We don't have New Warriors Volume 2! Damn it! But thank you for the super chat, my brother. So, we have Harry. He's like, you killed my dad. No, we'll go back to that. Actually, we'll go back to that.
Wait, Hayden, yes, thank you. This is a good point. But
that's what I was getting at. Out of nowhere, this old butler. I don't even know who he is. Is he a classical actor? Is that why they put him in here? I don't know who he is.
I don't know who he is. I didn't look him up.
I just remember he was one of my highlights of this movie because
his delivery of his lines.
Well, he at the very last second he was like, "You did this to my dad. You killed my dad," and he's like, "Actually, Master Osborn." It was the blades on your father's glider that killed him. Motherfucker, I just got half my face blown off. Couldn't you have told me, I don't know, maybe a week ago?
I didn't seek this revenge.
Why wait until now?
It's not Spider-Man 3 fan fiction. I wrote a trilogy about the new Spider-Man, like set in the MCU, but Harry is introduced. A more like age-appropriate Harry is introduced with like blonde hair and all that stuff. And it's a trilogy that ends up with Harry and Peter having a fallout at the end of the second one, and then in the third one, he seeks his revenge on Peter, and it's much more elaborate than this. Anyways, that's all I have. Okay.
So yeah, Amanda's in control of the chat now, so she can pull up comments.
Wait. So Michael, thank you. Have you read my fanfic, or are you just saying that to be generous?
Right, this is what I'm talking about. Like when I'm actually answering important questions, she's gonna highlight like Amanda's hair looks really pretty today, while I'm in the middle of like answering somebody's important question in the damn chat. So I may have made her give her too much power. Thank you, sweetie.
He has read it. Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. That means a lot. I'm not super happy with my third story. I think it needs some revisions. Obviously, a lot of them need revisions because I really was like typing and then posting as I went. But thank you. I appreciate it.
How many times have they retconned in the Harry in the comics?
He still has that weird cornrowy curly hair that I'm just not a fan of. They could draw it better. I'm sorry. I just don't understand.
Three or four times. Honestly, not even counting One More Day. So then we get the final fight.
We got all these things. Oh, we got Amanda is sorry pretty. Oh, Amanda's hair.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, this is a good one from Sean to say. Oh wait, there's one here. Right.
Well, by all means, please highlight those.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, wait, one more. Oh, okay. Oh,
that's it. No. You know. All right, boot that fucker out.
I'm trying to keep that up.
That's enough.
So he decides he's going to come and fight alongside Peter. Meanwhile, Peter is now having to fight Venom and Sandman by himself. Now he's able to incapacitate Sandman, but now he has Venom, and it's quite a battle. On this,
quite a battle.
Yes, which of course we have this British newscaster. I don't know how she got there, but I guess it's New York City,
She had a good agent.
narrating the whole fight, narrating all of our emotions for us. Another problem I have with that fight scene. And suddenly, when all hope is lost, Harry shows up for the win to help him win in the end. However, is it a win for Harry? No. Why? Because he too
I
is
love when
impaled.
Amanda answers her own questions. That's my favorite kind of Amanda. She asks a question. She doesn't give me time to answer. She answers it.
Yes.
Continue.
No, he too is impaled by his father's.
You guys, she's gonna go to bed all like.
He too is impaled by his glider, his father's glider, his glider, whoever you can call it. But in the meantime, Peter figured out how to beat the symbiote. He uses these metal poles that had fallen, and he starts creating a really crazy prison, and then starts banging them around, crazy like making that ringing sound. And the symbiote's like until it finally releases Eddie Brock, and then Spider-Man grabs one of the pumpkins and throws it, and he's like, "No, I want my power!" Dives in for it, bam, and somehow everything's just like gone. Like
bam, bam. That's the sound.
Over, like,
that's the sound a bomb makes.
Well, the weirdest thing about it is Eddie's body should be like there should be something, right? I mean, I know it's PG-13, so obviously there's not, but like
was it PG-13?
Yeah,
I thought it was PG.
No, it's PG-13.
Really? For what? Like, because he said, what was it that he said? Fix the damn door.
Fix the damn door. Yeah.
That's why they made it PG. I really don't remember why they made it PG-13.
Violence was kind of with Venom. I think probably because of Venom. How scary the remember, if anyone wants to talk about the rating system, you should watch an amazing documentary called This Film Has Not Yet Rated. It is a fascinating documentary about how biased the rating system is based upon these people who they bring in to come look at these films.
Y'all just had to ask, didn't you? Y'all just had to ask. You didn't even have to ask. I've seen the documentary.
John Waters is in the documentary, and he talks a lot about his films and like how women on women, or like when it's shown from the women's point of view, like sex and stuff, how it automatically gets like an MA rating. But like when it's a man, like there's some really interesting stuff, like different kinds of violence, how it's okay for PG-13, but how other stuff is rated R. Anyway, you should watch it. This Film Is Not Yet Rated. Great documentary. I don't know where you can find it. I just had to watch it in college for my senior seminar. Which
it was on Netflix for a while. That's where I watched it. So, where the hell were you? Okay, so Venom dies. There we go. And then the best part of this movie is Sandman. Thomas Hayden Church, who's a wonderful actor.
Yep.
I guess had no guidance because he was just plain freaking plain yogurt. He was so boring, and he looks at Peter Parker and he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kill your uncle. This is what happened." And we'll talk about that here in a second, Hayden.
Yeah.
Turns out he didn't purposely kill Uncle Ben. His partner ran up on him, and the gun accidentally went off, because that's what happens. Okay, whatever. Uncle Ben dies. And he's like, and that's what happens. And I'm sorry about all the people I hurt. I'm sorry I escaped from prison. We cool? And Peter Parker's like, yeah, man, we're cool. And he disappears. Like, he disappears in this really cheesy CG too, and I think that part. But I think by that part I was done. I'm like, when I was watching it for the first time. We'll talk about how I feel about it this time around. So Peter Parker now forgives Sandman. Sandman whooshes away. Now he's focused on his friend.
Ashes away.
Right, like his friend. Yeah, like Spider-Man in Endgame. So his friend is dying. Harry Osborn is dying, and he's like, Harry, I'm so sorry. And Harry's like, it's cool, man.
Wait, Freddy, the Stan Lee cameo is...
Oh, it's, I guess one person can make a difference.
Yes, one person. I guess one person really can make a difference, is what he says, yeah.
It's when all the newscasts and things are showing up on the...
and Peter's standing next to him as Peter Parker.
Uncle Ben was the hottest... You know what? Okay, I'll give you that, Clark Gable.
Mary Harris had some good looks to her. Well, we all just not showing her how hot she was. That's
Who?
Aunt May, Rosemary
He's
Harris.
talking about Uncle Ben, dude. Okay, okay. Uh, I don't even remember. How did the movie end?
Okay, so the movie ends with Peter going to the jazz club where Mary J. Watson is singing a jazzy song, and he walks up to her, and their hands kind of meet, and then that's where it kind of ends.
Okay, and that, as they say, is that. So that is the end of Spider-Man 3. Amazing Amanda, let's talk about some things that we enjoyed from this movie. Oh my god, it's 8:41. What the hell have we been talking about?
We should talk about this damn movie. This
For
movie
40 minutes?
Yes.
Drinking just makes things go by so much faster.
Yeah. So let's talk about this movie. What did I like?
What did you like about this movie?
After rewatching it.
Oh, I like Jack.
So, okay, just so you guys know,
100 out of 10.
As far as this movie is concerned, at the time when it was rated, it had a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 51% audience score and a 59 on Metacritic, and it has a 6.2 on IMDb.
Is it lower than Amazing Spider-Man 2 or is Amazing Spider-Man?
That is 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. So if you go ranking from Rotten Tomatoes for Spider-Man movies, just for you guys to know before we start getting into our critique. Number 7, the lowest rated is Amazing Spider-Man 2, followed by Spider-Man 3 at 63%, then Amazing Spider-Man at 72%, then Far From Home and Spidey 1 tie with 90%, Homecoming has a 92%, Spidey 2 has 93%, and Spider-Verse comes in at 97%. Because yes, we have to include that because that is a fantastic film.
Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie, though.
Fight everyone. Right. Though if you had to go live action, Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite. And yes, that's Tom Holland, but it's still my favorite.
Okay, so let's talk about this movie. What did you like about this movie? Let's talk about the things that we did like.
So, because I have grown to watch the characters over 3 movies, still seeing their interactions, I still enjoyed the trio, the James Franco, Kirsten Dunst, and Tobey Maguire. I found it very entertaining. So that's what I liked about it. Yes, there are some crazy cringeworthy scenes, guys, in this film. But unlike other films we have watched during this Was It Really That Bad segment, I enjoyed myself throughout this entire movie. And I don't know if it's because I'm a true Spider-Man, just love Spider-Man that much, and I don't even care how bad it is. No, it's not, because then immediately after I watched Amazing Spider-Man 2 and realized how bored I was with that. But at least there's some comedy in this. Maybe it's not intended comedy, but it's a comedy for me, and I appreciated that.
Honestly, I think it was intended, and I'll talk about that here in a second, because a lot of people, I know me when I watched it at first, because you reminded me of this, I hated it because I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. This is so cringeworthy. But I didn't realize until watching it again 13 years later that a lot of it was done on purpose.
I watched it at 9 o'clock in the morning this morning. I was not drunk because I had a webinar today for work. Thank you very much, Clarknado.
Thanks, Clarknado. Now I have to put up with it.
I like that Peter Parker tried to do the Pete Wentz and go with the whole like Soupy Bang thing. That was so super in 2007 because Fall Out Boy was pretty popular, and that was Pete Wentz's hairstyle, the black,
What was popular? What the hell did you just say?
Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy, who was the bassist.
Nobody cared about Fall Out Boy in 2007.
Yes, they did. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
15-year-old girls did.
No, everyone did.
Everyone
came out.
Will you people in the chat please tell me who cared about Fall Out Boy now or in 2007?
In 2007.
This is how you break Amanda.
Olio Adu did not come out in 2008. They were still riding high on their from Under a Corkscrew. I don't know why we're having a conversation about this right now.
Because I just love pissing you off. That's why. Who? Everybody cared. There's your fans, Amanda. Everybody. I love Fall Out Boy.
Hey, don't.
I hate it. Yes. I was 3. I don't have a clue.
Oh God! Stop!
I love it, guys. Thank you so much. I was 3, so I don't have a clue. Fall Out Boy, something old people listen to.
The song about Uma Thurman that came out a few years back.
Not the Who. Fallout Boy. Fallout Boy from The Simpsons. Yes, that's
they were
right.
The Simpsons, yes.
How did Omar get control? Because Omar always finds a way,
I don't know, because every
brother.
time I try to click on someone, he takes it away from me.
What's up, Comic Book Crazy? Fallout Boy's Dan Didio's favorite band. I was 32. I didn't have a clue.
No, not Jimmy's Room. They did do music for Big Hero 6, though. And
You just had to say everybody. Always an absolutist. That's my girl. Always an absolutist.
Emo haircuts. Emo was.
By the way, Raz, I feel the same way when he said 3. I was like, God damn, I don't even want to talk about how old I was in 2007.
I was like 21. I just turned 21 in 2000. Like, yeah, because May 20.
Yeah, I remember. Me too.
I turned 21. I could just drink legally now.
Me too. I remember.
Oh yeah, comic book crazy. Oh, and Michael knows too. See, if you know how to dance like Uma Thurman, you know who Fall Out Boy is. Get off.
Who's Emo Thurman?
Oh wait, he meant Uma Thurman. You want to dance like Uma? Okay, never mind. Okay, anyways, so it was a movie of its time. I will say that. Was its soundtrack as good as Spider-Man 2? No.
Wait. I'm talking about the things you liked.
I know. Well,
and then we'll talk about this.
Did it have a Snow Patrol song? Yes. Was that okay? Sure. Oh my gosh, Timmy Ray, you're killing me right now.
Who the hell is Snow Patrol? You're making me feel so old.
You know who's chasing cars? You know who Snow Patrol is. Your brother knew who Snow Patrol is. He's like,
yeah, my brothers are like hipsters though. They're no, I don't know who Snow Patrol is. I've seen the movie. The good things that I liked about this movie were this time around, I kind of dug Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. Now, hear me out.
Not as Venom, but as Eddie Brock.
Yeah, exactly. Hear me out. For the movie version, the Sam Raimi movie version, not the comic book, not the new Venom, it actually makes sense. He's a wimpy version of a dark Peter Parker. Yes. That's what I liked about him. Except he's kind of evil and manipulative and a big liar. So, you know. Hear him out. He's about to justify. Damn, Michael. I never justify hitting women.
No, and that's another thing about when I think about these movies, I have to think, okay.
Well, yes, that's all and that's all he really is in every movie that he's been in. He's not
or any of his movies.
He's not a great actor. He doesn't have range. But it actually fits into this. I actually like the first 10 minutes of this movie. If they had kept it just about the New Goblin.
Thank you.
James Franco manipulating everybody behind the scenes, destroying the relationship between Harry and Peter and
without everything else.
That would have been cool.
And honestly, what else did you like before we go into things we didn't like and things we would have changed?
I like some of the visuals.
Yes, I agree.
The one that I showed earlier, the one where he's ripping, that right there. That's actually a damn good visual. Some of the fights are good. Some of the fights are not. When Sandman gains the power when he turns into sand, that was actually visually pretty cool.
And I'll tell you, it pulled at my heartstrings when he was trying to reach for his daughter's locket, or his locket with his daughter's picture with his hand at first, and it turned into sand.
Standing ovation, sir. I agree with that statement, but that's another story.
The one that had the issue, and then they came out and they had to cancel the ranch on Netflix, or no? Is it someone else?
No, Red was the old man. He was the dad.
You're right.
And he was a damn good. He's a damn good actor.
He's a damn good actor.
What else? What else did I like about this movie? MJ didn't get on my nerves as much as she usually does in the other movies. The first two movies. Oh my God, I wanted to strangle Kristen Dunst. In this one, I kind of felt bad for her because Peter Parker is a crappy boyfriend.
Like, not even like, there's a difference between in the comics where he's the crappy boyfriend because of his responsibility being Spider-Man. In this, he legit was just a crappy boyfriend.
And and by the way, my judgment of this movie has nothing to do with the comic books. Like, the comic books are one thing and they're wonderful. This movie is another thing.
All these movies.
Bruce Campbell's cameo. I like that. I like Bruce Campbell's cameo. I'm trying to think. There was something else that I did like that I was like, huh, that actually kind of works. You know what? It was goofy, it was stupid, and James Franco, I still believe, is not a good actor. But his character portrayal of Harry Osborn only in this movie, because I hated him in the first two, only in this movie, actually kind of works with the
I
tone
agree.
of this movie.
I like James Franco. I was not taken back by his Harry performance, and that's why I kind of wish that was the main arc throughout, and he didn't have to go through this weird amnesia thing where he became this super like I don't remember anything weird. I don't understand that, but I would have liked to see his villain progress and maybe
Um,
have a turning point at the end, but still have to progress. He still have to die at the end, but that's fine.
and I think that's about it. That's all I like about this movie. It made me laugh though, so
It
that's
made me
saying, and I'll talk about that when I give my final rating. Like it did make me laugh, and I think for the reasons that it wanted to make me laugh. Like not because like 2007 Omar thought I was laughing for the wrong reasons, but actually
I think
Sam
you're right.
Raimi.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part, and this might be the beer talking, but I kind of see this 2007 version of Spider-Man 3 being hated like the people that hate Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
Right? Like Thor Ragnarok changed the tone of those movies from serious to goofy, changing like characters like Korg. Right? Korg in the
But
comic books was a serious character. In the movie, he was a goofy side character. And I
it was
and
Peter Parker.
I can kind of see people being angry because there are people that hate Thor Ragnarok. I like it, but there are people that hate it. Um, I actually
I love Emma Stone actually, so
I love Bryce Dallas Howard. I thought she was
I didn't not care.
gorgeous.
Nope. And I don't think it's her fault,
What's
but
up, Lion?
hey, Limer. I don't think it's her fault. I did not like Bryce Dallas
I
Howard because
agree.
I don't like how they wrote Gwen Stacy in this. Actually, her and MJ, I think their characters in general. I mean, the biggest issue I have with the film
See what I
is,
mean? There are people that hate it, and I get it. I get it. I happen
but
to love
see,
it, but I get
no,
it
with Thor
because
3, I don't understand
it's
because,
so different.
but
No,
at least, like, I understand why I dislike or that Spider-Man 3 is not my favorite is because of the plot and everything like that. So to hate it because it's like, I guess it doesn't make sense to me because Thor 3 is a very streamlined plot. I mean, it's a very tight film.
but
Take
it's a
like
different tone.
take. It's a different tone, different take on.
It is absolutely a different tone. You got to go along with the ride. Just like this in
Hang on.
2007, I was not.
Maybe we should watch Ragnarok because I feel like we have some like.
I'm 100% serious. I'm not crapping on anybody's movie. I like it, but I completely understand why people do not like Ragnarok. And I stand with my statement, whether I'm drunk Omar or sober Omar, that now I understand why people hated this movie.
Yeah, because
That people that love 1 and 2 hated this because the tone just went balls out crazy.
But that's what they needed because that second movie was a mess and.
Wait. And let's focus on this. We'll talk about Thor another day.
Yeah, we don't care. Yeah.
So the things we didn't like about this movie, Amanda, ladies first. So what did you not like about this movie?
So, I didn't like the way they portrayed Gwen Stacy. She was basically like this bimbo who was in love with Spider-Man. And while she had some redeeming qualities, like apologized to MJ when, she realized that Peter was using her to get back at MJ and stuff like that, I didn't care for her character. I thought it was better if her character didn't exist at all. Honestly, it would have, if they left Gwen Stacy out completely, sorry, Bryce Dallas Howard, I know you need the role or wanted the role, but if they left her out completely, like they took MJ out of Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Shailene Woodley, it would have at
Come
least
on, Sledge.
tighten the plot a little bit. We didn't need her to turn MJ and Peter against each other. What we needed was Harry doing it. That's how I think exactly how it should have been. I would have not liked to see their battle within the first 10 minutes. I would have liked to see Harry working towards the battle. Maybe a mid-movie, like kind of a climax in the mid where they fight. But if you still want to keep Sandman and Venom in the ultimate fight at the end, have that. And another thing I didn't like was if we don't have Gwen Stacy, we don't need Peter Parker getting the symbiote. I would have much rather
older brother. I'll take older brother. Thank you, my boy, my boy. I wish I could super chat you, Shans. We
um,
super chat the
oh,
chat.
thank you, Christopher. The other thing I would have done, we don't need to see the symbiote get to Peter. I would have rather, here's what I've rather seen. I would have rather seen the symbiote go for Eddie Brock first and see that progress into the Venom, and then thinking it gets destroyed, but it ends up on Peter. And then, if they were going for a fourth Spider-Man, maybe introducing it then, because they were cramming a lot of stuff.
Actually, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
I
I
do
would have
not like
loved.
her either, Clarknado. I agree with you. I was
Was
happy
she
to
in,
have
was
her
she
out.
in Harry Potter?
No, Shailene Woodley.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
The
dude.
diverse
But that
individual.
was fucked up. Why they edited her out though? Like that was messed up.
Yeah.
I don't agree with why they did it. I mean, the movie was a mess anyway.
Yeah.
But the reason they did it was because they found the actress too ugly to be MJ. That is so messed up.
I mean,
And
she's your
she's not ugly. She's a really pretty
really
girl.
pretty girl.
Now,
Yeah,
anyway, what I was gonna say is hell, I don't remember what I
that's
was
a
gonna
shame
say.
because I don't know if he needed to be in it, and if he did, it didn't need to be the whole Peter Parker. The problem
Oh,
is
yeah. They
they
should have
used all
they
these
should have
outside.
introduced the
They
the
used
Venom the black suit
yeah,
in this movie and then made a fourth movie. That's it.
yeah. Well, they should have. They used so many of these outside forces affecting this relationship and created all these unnecessary love triangles and things that don't need to be there. And that I am all for romantic comedy, guys, and I am all for love triangles. But
Oh
in
yeah,
this
she loved that twist scene apparently. Dude, that scene. I hated that scene.
what scene?
The Kristen with Kristen's God, I can't remember. Mary Jane and Harry Osborn. The flirting scene?
No, I did
That
not
was
like that scene. I thought it was
horrible. Oh,
ridiculous.
okay,
It
good.
felt out of place. But that's the because I didn't like all of this stuff. Now, if it was Harry trying to manipulate the entire relationship, knowing that MJ
Y'all
was
about to make the real Omar come out, and you don't want to see him because there's a lot of mom jokes in there. I don't want to do
another
that. I
thing
don't
I
want to
didn't
do
like
that.
in the film. Okay, we know Tobey Maguire knows how to exude emotions,
Do
right?
we? Do we?
Yeah,
Do we?
yes. Okay, if you
I,
watch the Honest trailer, they always
I was
talk
gonna
about
say Seabiscuit. What are we talking about?
the Spider-Man here.
Because I've never Toby Maguire. I think he was fine.
But he
I
can be
never liked him
emotive.
as Spider-Man.
Okay, let me finish my sentence before you start in on me. Because yes, he could be emotive. Okay, he can be emotive. Don't deny that. He cries very easily. Most of these actors who play Spider-Man can. But during the climax, oh my God, Omar. But then during this climactic fight scene, when you think that Spider-Man, we have these newscasters reporting on how Spider-Man's down on his luck. I don't know if he can do it. And it just takes it all away from me. When you have the stakes that high, I don't need the narration of some British woman. I think all is lost for Spider-Man. I don't need that because it's not about them. It's about what we're in right now, which is that fight scene. I don't give a crap. There's so many bystanders in this whole damn film, oohing and ahhing at Spider-Man, that I just don't need all that. And I think that when they have the British lady talking about how I don't know how it's going to turn out for Spider-Man, it's just everything seems lost. Like that whole thing, we don't need to hear her narrate that. I can see that if we focused in on Tobey Maguire's acting during that scene where it seems like Venom has got him and MJ's life is lost and everything is down for the count. Like we don't need them talking to me about it. I don't need that.
Things
Okay,
I didn't like about the movie. There was a lot of bad CG in this movie. Even for 2007, it was bad. I always go back to my practical effects are wonderful mixed with CG, and the problem was like at the very beginning with the new Goblin versus Spider-Man, when they have just that fight in the alleyway. It was so horrible.
Yeah, I know.
The fighting like when they're falling off a building. I mean, other than Eddie Brock's Venom actually worked. Like skinny Venom, not my comic book Venom, but for the movie it worked.
This movie, yes.
Sandman, there were times that he looked pretty good, but then there were some really bad CG. I think it was way too many villains in this movie. and they should have split it up into two parts. 100%. I think they've been setting up Harry Osborn to be the new Goblin, and that's where they should have gone. Introducing a new love interest to have a new love triangle when Harry and Mary Jane have a love triangle already with Peter.
Yeah.
And now Peter, Gwen Stacy, and Mary, that is way too much.
Yeah.
And it sucks, right? Because I think Sam Raimi had a vision. Sam Raimi wanted to do 4 movies, and then it was pulled under him. Like, they were like, nope, we're done. We're going to reboot Spider-Man. Before he knew it, it was gone.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think he wasn't happy either with the direction they were trying to take it. All the rewrites and things like that with the fourth film. I think it wasn't up to what he wanted.
There was, honestly, the performances were not
and
that
I can't.
good.
No,
Like,
I mean,
they-
and I don't know
they
if they
were
all
not that
figured it out
good.
by this point. I mean, if you think about it, let's look at what these people have gone on to do since Spider-Man, right? Kirsten Dunst, I know if you read the headlines, she's complained about Hollywood not giving her the roles that she deserves and things like that. Honestly, I don't know what those men who casted her in the Broadway show on this film thinking when they casted her to sing, because she can't sing. So I was really quite confused why they would even cast her and then they fire her when the show's bad. Well, of course, because she really couldn't sing that well.
They were also going to set up Kurt Connors too, the lizard.
Well, according to what I've read, Kurt Connors, or Dylan Baker was the actor who played him, was set to be the lizard. They were going to have the Vulture in it.
Roger Corman, man, you're going back, brother.
Yeah. And everyone's critical in their own ways of different films. And it's just a matter of, what could they have done, to make it better, that maybe it wouldn't have been so hard to get a fourth film. And surprisingly, this one made more money than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, I mean, being a bad movie doesn't justify not making money. We've seen that.
Good. Yeah, you're right.
We've seen that happen a lot.
Yeah. And it's the third in a trilogy, and most people probably thought it was I thought it was the end. I didn't realize the fourth, until much later when I became much more of a nerd.
Honestly, I actually fucking like this movie at the end. So it's so weird. 13 years. I've only seen it one time other than this. And maybe it's in the mood that I'm in. I wasn't drinking. I just had a bad day at work and I started watching it. And 13 years later, was it really that bad? To me, no. It wasn't. It was actually kind of funny. It was actually stupidly funny.
Yes, everything.
Is it a good movie though? Hell no, it's not a good movie. What's your rating, Amanda? What would you give this movie?
I think this movie I would give like a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe 7 out of 10.
Wow, 7 out of 10.
Besides some of the issues I have with it, I honestly, when I think about the enjoyment factor, we watched.
Well, yeah, that has a lot to do with it.
We watched Green Lantern, Fantastic Four.
So let us know in the chat what you would give this out of 10.
And I think this is 6.5 or 7 out of 10. 6.5 very.
I'm adding my fun factor into it. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I think it's a funny movie. I think I laughed a lot more than I did when it originally came out. I can totally see Sam Raimi's vision actually leading to this. Like, it was done on purpose.
I just wish it was tighter.
Is it a good movie, though? Absolutely not. I give it a 4 out of 10. But it's a fun movie. And I like it, and I'll probably watch it again.
What did you give Last Stand?
I don't know. 2 something. 2.5, 2.5.
Oh,
so, was it as bad as I remember? No, it was not. So that's why I love doing these. I love going back and watching these things I haven't seen in forever.
It wasn't a terrible film. Like I said, I enjoyed myself. There were obviously issues with.
Oh, that is a good question. Would I recommend this movie? It depends on who's asking me, right?
Are you?
If it's somebody that's like, I love comic book movies, dude. I love Avengers. I love Avengers. Don't watch this movie. No. But if it's somebody that's like, dude, I love Garbage Pail Kids. Me too. Fucking watch Spider-Man 3. That's how I would recommend it.
If they're like, man, I love that Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer movie, I would say, yeah, you should watch this. It's fine. It's going to be better than that. And we haven't even gotten to those
I,
movies yet.
I will say I wouldn't go out of my way to go watch it. Like it's ridiculous.
But from this, like, it is definitely a product of its
I
time.
can't believe you gave it a 7. Wow, that's so high.
I mean, I truly, like, when me and Tommy watched it this morning, we enjoyed the crap out of it, even though it was ridiculous.
Oh, no, I did too, but I also realized it's a bad movie. It's not a good movie at all.
Yes, it's not a good movie. It needs a tighter plot, but yeah.
I think fun factor goes a long way, though.
I don't know about the fun factor.
Mark, can you give me a pickup line so I can ask this girl out? Dude, I've got several pickup lines. Where's my wife? Let me tell you pickup. No, I can't. Never mind. We'll get demonetized if I use my pickup lines.
It depends on what kind of girl she is.
I haven't watched it in over 10 years.
It's due for a rewatch. Anyone on the chat who has not watched,
Why'd you get quiet?
Watched it recently?
Huh? What, baby?
What are your pickup lines?
I don't have any pickup lines, baby. Not anymore. Not since I locked you down. I don't have any pickup lines. I swear. I love you. Okay.
Well, Classy Ulysses really. Yeah, I would give Spider-Man 2 is by far, and still, even after, and I love Tom Holland, you all know that, but I still would choose Spider-Man 2. And maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe it's the fact that that soundtrack is a huge part of my life. I don't know. But regardless.
9.5. Wow, 8.5. That's high. That's cool. That's awesome. I love people that dig these movies, man. That's awesome. Like, and yes, if you enjoy any of these movies, by the way, when we're rating them, we are not shitting on anybody's parade here. It's just our experience, right?
Yeah, it's just.
Did you already do that? Did you do the obligatory Tom Holland's
name so many times in this movie, in this stream? It's ridiculous. He is Spider-Man, and I cannot not drop his name.
He is a good Spider-Man, but you know what? I also liked Andrew Garfield. I thought Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man.
Well, see,
so I kind of want to go back and watch that. So I'm waiting for maybe we'll do that sometime.
Well, I watched it, and so I mean, right after this movie, I said I'm gonna watch it because I own it. So I was like, I'm just gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch Amazing Spider-Man 2. And
okay, so we're gonna leave it up to you all. What should we put up next? I know you all want Cat. Y'all want us to watch Cat.
No one votes for it when we put it in the poll. Though everyone says they want Catwoman, and I've never seen it, guys. So I would love to see Batman Forever. I would love to do Batman Forever, Batman and Robin.
Call me with crazy. Garfield was horrible. Really, I kind of dug his Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man, but his Peter Parker was a little too. Because when I watched Amazing Spider-Man 2, I was looking at some of the critiques about him being too cool. I can see that. Where I think Tobey Maguire was too, golly gee, Beaver, like, and I think that as Peter Parker, that's why I think Tom Holland's a good blend.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Parker's, like, I think that his Peter Parker showing up to late to graduation or showing up, like, with skateboard, I think it's a little too cool.
Whoa, we're getting a $5 super chat to do Wolverine Origins.
I want the Wolverine because that's the one I think is bad.
I think that's the one that's rated really low, right? The Wolverine.
Rated worse than Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, I thought Andrew Garfield was great. I guess I'm alone in there. I thought people liked him, but poor guy.
I did like him. I did like him very much. I like Andrew Garfield. Remember that?
How do I pay you guys so you don't do that one?
Okay, Kenny Wu. I'll do Mighty Ducks for you if you want me to do that because I love those damn films.
Where did that come from?
Because he's Kenny Wu from Mighty Ducks. That's my
Kenny. Hey, what's up, man? Are you going to be in the reboot? Is it the real Kenny Wu? Is it the real guy? Amanda? I haven't seen Mighty Duck in decades. The Wolverine has a good first and second act. I've only seen that one time as well.
Manuel totally agrees with me on what? The Wolverine? Or Tom Holland? I need to clarify.
Is it the real Omar? Who knows? Who knows about it?
I hope so. We hope so too, man.
Okay. Stuff with the Silver Samurai at the end is a miss. Okay. Jack, you've said that. So I'm going to highlight it. I don't know about that. I've got some counter arguments.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah.
Oh, and Andrew Garfield. Okay. Dark Phoenix. We watched Dark Phoenix last year, and
Yeah,
we reviewed it. It would be interesting to rewatch it again.
a
I
year
don't
later.
know.
I mean, we could do it in June when it's a year later.
Is that the year
I
anniversary?
mean, we could do Hellboy too, but I won't touch that.
God, that movie was horrible. that was such a bad movie. Yeah. So I guess I'll put up Catwoman again. We'll see where that goes.
Yes.
Batman. I wanted to do a classic
I would love to do a
superheroes,
classic film that I haven't gotten a chance to see,
like Superman 4.
Steel,
Oh God, Steel.
the
Barb-
90s Captain America.
Why is nobody bring up Barbed Wire in this chat? Barbed Wire was
Come on, guys,
horrible.
let's see it. No.
Whoa, Clark.
Whoa, okay.
Sharknado.
I don't know if you're joking or if you're serious. But
Oh, wait.
Did-
I have a soft spot in my heart for Supergirl. I had
would
a
like to watch
mad
that
crush
again.
on
That's
Supergirl.
one of the lower rated ones.
Love it. Spawn.
Oh, yes, thank you. We tend to try to make ourselves fantastic, Freddie.
Debbie Does Dallas. Yeah, I'd love for Amanda to review that one. Oh, you did, Derek. You did mention in Barbed Wire. Okay.
Well, we should. Maybe that's why it's.
All right. I think let's go. Django Fett did give us a super chat, so I want to throw that in there. So if we throw Wolverine in there, we have to throw like current low rated films. So we'll look it over and see what the lowest rated films are. But I do want to do like Punisher with Dolph, Batman. What was it? Batman Forever.
Forever. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And Superman 4 to see which one of those wins.
Yeah. Also, Michael, the reason
that would have been weird.
That would have been weird because the first day
I apparently already used up all my pickup lines. So I'm all out. I'm all out.
Omar was on his wedding day, so I had to be I was a date for his cousin, who I.
You know what though? That's a plot for a romantic comedy.
Oh, isn't it ever? Jeez Louise.
With Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Lopez.
That was the wedding planner.
Oh, you actually remember the name this time around. Punisher with Dolph, right? That's such a great movie.
Or Ghost Rider.
Filmed in Australia.
What do you guys want to see us do? Caligula.
That's not a superhero movie at all. Star Wars: The Last Jedi review, dude. We have different thoughts about Star Wars. It's funny. Like both of us have different thoughts on Star Wars.
I watched Skywalker, and if it wasn't for hot Adam Driver, I don't know what I'd do with my life.
Yeah, me too. Drink that one, Amanda.
Kazam. Great one.
Yes. Dude, here's the thing about fuck it, I don't care if we get demonetized. I hate I totally hate that porn movies aren't witty with their titles anymore. I'll go back to this. Okay. Like seriously, I hate that. Right? Growing up, my friends and I would look at like the back of magazines to look at like porn titles, and they were so witty. Nowadays, everything is like not Avengers XXX, not Avatar XXX. Why didn't they name it Asatar? Right? Like things like that. I don't like porn movies, and their wittiness are gone.
They don't have to be witty.
Yes, they do. That's part of the beauty of porn movies, Amanda. Forrest Hump. There's my boys. What's up? What's up, Edward Penis Hands, Robocock? Come on.
Jesse Christian wants to know where is this going?
I don't know where this is going. I just went on a tangent because I hate the fact. Oh, damn it, Timmy Ray, my bad. You're only 15. Put your mom in the chat.
Timmy,
put your mom.
You haven't had some porn in your life before. I was doing that dirty stuff to NSYNC fan fiction when I was 13. Calm down.
What? Oh my god, that is too much information. What? What are you talking about?
What?
Lord of the G-Strings.
I discovered my sexuality at 13. Thank you very much.
Is this where the chat is going? Like, nobody asked you that.
You did. You started it when you brought up porn. And then Timmy Gray, the
you're such a
15-year-old.
you're such a finger pointer. I didn't ask you any of that. I was talking about porn names. See, this is what happens, man. We drink. She's gonna watch this tomorrow, going, I can't believe. She'll text me, going, I can't believe I said that. I'm gonna be like, really?
Wow, we are really
Well,
sharing.
we're really sharing to that. Yeah, y'all got any dark secrets you want to share now?
We spent 40 minutes. We've had an hour talking about Spider-Man 3 for like no reason.
We did. She apparently loved it. Clops and jean spray. Yes. I miss those names, man. Superhero parodies. Triple X is so interesting. Yeah, I hate the names. Instinct changed my life and awakened something.
Justin Timberlake still the love of my life.
Is he though? Is he though?
No. Though it's really nice knowing.
she's used to me. She's used to it.
Yeah, she's like, what
my wife is used to it. Thanks, guys. Oh, come on, Timmy Ray. You're gonna be looking up. You're gonna be looking.
Have you played online video games?
I don't believe he's 15. You're gonna be looking up Asatar after we're done with this.
Okay. Does anyone have any like media related things?
What are you asking? Any?
Beer making dish. Everyone wants you to use the pickup line.
I don't have any more, guys. I've used them all up, man. My pickup lines were back in the days of VHS.
I don't know either, Ben. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, that's what happens when you join a live chat. So please don't forget to hit that like button.
And subscribe button.
Like and subscribe if you haven't. I don't know why in God's name you're watching this if you haven't subscribed, though. Is acid something that happens if you don't? Yes, it is.
Okay, Tevin has a serious question.
Starting points are Spider-Man. There's a lot of really good runs. I could strongly, I always strongly suggest the original. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. Ultimate Spider-Man's a really good user-friendly.
It is very user-friendly.
Starting on point.
I've read that.
Me as a completist, I love starting from the beginning, so I always use that. There was honestly there's a lot of fun stories with Eric Larson, but one of the best ones, if you want to read a modern take on Spider-Man, it's JMS's Spider-Man and Omnibus Volume 1. It is freaking phenomenal. It's like Peter Parker coming back to his old self. He was he's a teacher now instead of a photographer. Yeah. It's wonderful. I love it.
Tevin, how much do you know about Spider-Man's origins? Because he said, where did he say? I need more modern age.
Can't bring. Well, you're in luck because none of it was written in the Golden Age. It was all Silver Age. So yeah,
actually, Marvel Unlimited right now. I don't know if you are a Marvel Unlimited subscriber, but they have one of their things is start out with the classic Spider-Man, and they have some of the different stories that you probably should read.
Yeah, so Clark Nato's saying that the first Marvel Masterworks Spider-Man is on Comixology for free.
Yeah.
But really, JMS, it's good. It's solid. There are going to be some low points. I'm not going to lie. Since past. One more day. But that was editorial mandate, so if you can bypass that, there you go.
And if you want modern stuff, I've been reading the Nick Spencer run, which is not terrible. So that's might be something good. That's very modern because that's the last few years.
Just skip the Since Past in one more day. Exactly. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want to keep reading it, some people don't mind it, but.
Green Laser said read the.
Yeah,
we read that on Old Reader, New Reader, Tevin. And as a Craven fan who wants to see him in the MCU or as a Spidey villain on screen, it was fantastic. Oh, God, what a great... If you can find that, read that. It's wonderful.
So good.
Oh, so good.
Let's see, starting Spider-Man in the 90s, do you only buy books with the first 5 chapters ripped out? I liked Eric Larson's run on Spider-Man was good, and, McFarlane's was a life changer for a lot of people. Clone Saga is the best storyline.
We just talked about that yesterday.
I did.
Actually,
I don't. Some people love Clone Saga. It's up to you to find out, man. I say read whatever you want. Those are my suggestions. You may end up hating it, but maybe you'll find things that you like that I don't like. That's the
yep.
beauty of comic books. We all have a difference of opinions.
And I own that Craven's Last Hunt Epic collection because I think that's
You can read up until Clone Saga. Some people have done that. Some people gave up um, after one more day. Some people never looked back.
yeah. Well, apparently, yes. I believe he might be in the third Spider-Man. Which I'll be very what they do with that because
I've been hearing Amanda tell me that's in Spider-Man 2. I remember her texting me going, "This guy's been casted. I bet he's going to be Craven."
no, but he ended up being Dimitri, which is
Not Craven.
no, he's Chameleon, so he wasn't casted as that. I was just trying to base it off of Ooh, that'd be a good casting because Joe Manganiello.
I loved him as Deathstroke.
Yes,
That
and
was
since we
the
don't
best
think we
part of that
probably
movie.
won't get Deathstroke in a while. I'd say this is a good idea.
And the dude is good. Oh, and he would make an awesome Craven.
He would be a great Craven. I've been dying. I wrote Craven in one of my fan fictions, so I've been dying for Craven so badly in the MCU. I mean, I have a feeling, given how they moved the Spider-Man release date back and everything like that, based on this Venom being pushed back, I have a feeling it's going to tie in a little bit more to some of the Sony MCU movies or Sony movies coming out, like Venom and Morbius. But I would love to see Craven. I'll be interested to see what happens with Spider-Man 3 because there's so much with now that everyone knows his identity. What's going to happen?
I think there's a lot of good, I don't want to say aged actors, but older actors that could be Craven too.
Oh yeah, he said Gerard Butler.
Gerard
He was
Butler.
not a good Phantom because he can't sing. But he could be a good
He
Craven.
was awesome in 300.
He was great in 300. And
Manu Bennett, yes. And that's the guy that played Deathstroke in the Green Arrow series.
Yes, an Arrow. Oh, I love Manu Bennett.
I'd have to get ripped, man. Like Craven is ripped, always wearing his little thing.
Omar's Craven. But Manu Bennett in Spartacus was phenomenal too. Because that's where you gotta start. And that is
And he ended up leaving Arrow to go do, was it Lord of the Rings? Right? Oh no, The Hobbit. It was The Hobbit.
Who was he in The Hobbit?
He was one of the goblins. The main dude, the bad guy.
Oh, the one with the bleached guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what a mistake.
This Charlie Cox not in Spider-Man 3 is Daredevil hurt real. He's not, huh?
We don't know, but he has not been approached or he's playing coy, but he has had some recent interviews where he doesn't see any hope. But I would have loved to see him defending Spider-Man, given the revelation that Peter Parker is Spider-Man to the whole world. I would have loved to see. I don't want them to recast Daredevil because I really like Charlie Cox, and this is too recent. Ooh, we got a super chat.
Okay. Omar, why are the X-Men hated and feared by people in the event? Oh, brother, man. I've always asked that question as a kid, as an adult.
Me too.
As a kid, I would do this. I would okay, I refuse to believe the X-Men exist in the same universe that a god that can summon lightning exists, right? I believed it was their own little pocket universe. It's so stupid, right, when you think about it. It's because they were born with powers instead of, oops, I got bitten by a spider, or oops, super soldier serum went into my veins. Right? It's ridiculous. I never understood. Other than the fact that now we have Omega levels, so that might actually have something, some of them are just ticking time bombs that could go off and destroy half of the world. So I guess that could make sense. Oh my god, Carl Urban is Craven. I actually see that. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, but he's in the boys right now and so much. I don't know if they could.
Oh yeah, but he's a great actor. He could do it.
Well, Omar didn't put that on the Patreon, so no one. So I don't know.
Where's your black? Oh yeah, Amanda. I think I speak for Freddie. Is that what Freddie's asking? I'm pretty sure Freddie's asking about Marvels. But yeah. Where is your black leather gun?
No one said I was to wear it today.
Did you want me to ask people? I thought it was just.
I mean, it has to be like a voted on kind of thing, or like a
don't
thing.
do that because everybody's gonna vote yes. Nobody's gonna say no. Maybe the
Patreon out of it. I'm just trying to help you out, Omar.
The 6 women that watch this show will say no. Your mom will even vote yes.
Yeah.
Gunsuit Amanda is Catwoman. Oh,
If you guys vote for Catwoman, I would wear that because it is a black suit. I'll make sure I do plenty of sit-ups that day so I don't look like a big hole.
goddamn woman! How far does that thing go down?
What, this?
No.
I was like, what are you
Damn it!
talking
Keep your titties in check. I'm talking about the black suit that you're gonna.
So it goes like down here, like my belly. It goes like it goes down.
When you said you had to do sit-ups, I was like, how far does that damn zipper go down? Okay,
All right,
gotcha.
if you vote for Catwoman, I'll wear it on Catwoman.
There you have it. That's the loophole of how we.
Where my cat is. My cat is. You know who is furry? My cousin's dog is in this room. Come here.
Dread 2 is not happening, but there's a Mega City 1 TV show playing.
Oh my goodness, it's so lovable.
I love Dread. I thought it was such a good movie. The Carl Urban one. Oh, it was so good. Nobody talks about that movie. That movie's great. It didn't do well at the box office.
Well, I think Dread, it's hard. Was it a movie? It's hard with. The problem is they have to relate to this. The general audience, right? And it's just sometimes it's difficult. It's kind of like how you.
We're all over the place, man.
We are really all over the place, guys. It's pretty. It has to. It's that general audience that really makes it, or China if you want to go that route.
Oh, hi Omar. I watched your Doom Patrol. As you said, it was your favorite superhero TV show last year, and it was great. Would you recommend getting? I absolutely 100% recommend getting Grant Morrison's because a lot of that stuff that you liked in that show are borrowed from Grant Morrison's.
Although I did buy the
Animal
Way
Doom
run
Patrol
because I love.
Well, Gerard Way was a fan of that. And speaking of Gerard Way, mad shout out to my boy Brooks Loves Books. He shipped an omnibus to Gerard Way on eBay. Gerard Way bid it on one of his omnis, and now Brooks has his address in California or wherever the hell he is. So I was like, "That's so cool, dude." I need no, Amanda, you freaking stalker! You can't get that. But
wait, why is Freddie gonna vote against? Is it because you don't want to watch Catwoman?
Maybe he wants to see me in a gun suit, Amanda. Did you ever think about that?
Omar, I'll bring it over. Omar can wear it.
I ain't bringing a damn gun suit. That's ridiculous. That is a good question. I need to ask what Omni he won. I love Amanda's reaction to everything.
I have very on the. I am wear it on the sleeve, buddy. I don't mince words. I have hardcore reactions to everything.
Dude, big Michael Shannon fan. Dude is out of Lexington, Kentucky. Represent. So I've always liked Michael Shannon. Ever since Groundhog Day. I don't know if anybody remembers he was in Groundhog Day. My local Barnes & Noble has all three. Get them, man.
Nice. You should get
because they're still in print. They're great. I want to do an old reader, new reader on that sometime. They're freaking awesome.
Now this whole thing's about you in the gun suit.
Okay, so it's first my ear, now it's my eyes. Omar in a gun. Timmy Ray, you'll never look back, brother. You'll never. 15. Oh, never mind. You're 15 years old.
Do you guys think Man of Steel is bad?
No, I don't think it's as bad as people.
I don't like the ending turn from serious to comical quippy, but that's neither here nor there.
I dug it.
You better be happy you fought. Why? Why? Because I posted my boudoir shoot? Is that why you're happy?
What the hell you posted that for?
Not the whole thing. Man,
you can't be posting boudoir. Do they make men boudoir shoots?
Maddie did them, so
yeah, I know Maddie does them for people.
Wonder Maddie
do they make
the bad ones? I just posted the ones of from here up. The rest of them are for my husband.
I was gonna say, do they make dudes boudoir shoots?
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, I just thought that was guys modeling.
All right.
Drew, Matthew, I would tell you that might be 1 in a million things you'd find out there. Most of it's my daughter.
No, most of it is Tom. Guess what? Tom Holland's Guess what type of rice Tom Holland's eating
A
today?
lot of Tom Holland shit on there, so you may not like my Instagram.
Guess what funny thing Tom Holland read today?
No.
Jesus Christ. Oh, wait, I get texts like that. Why isn't your Instagram like that? Omar, you're never going to believe, but Harry Potter is reading Harry Potter. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to holler at you folks later. Put that Catwoman up for vote.
We will, Sean, in a sec.
We will, for sure.
It's not all about Tom Holland. I have a lot of variety on my Instagram.
Sure. So, yeah.
So that was it. I think.
That was. Once again, I gave it a 4 out of 10.
I gave it a 7. 6.5, 7 out of 10.
So it wasn't as bad as we remembered. So next Wednesday.
Wait, I have not heard this news. What?
Who's Rupert Grint?
That's Ron Weasley.
Okay, he's having a baby?
I guess. Cleveland Brown.
What's up, man? Spider-Man 3 has a lot of problems, but Toby dancing was lit.
What's wrong? You're scared? Is Tommy back? What's he doing?
A roller coaster of a stream, especially for me. You're welcome, Timmy.
Yeah, sorry, Timmy. We've introduced you to a lot of things you probably
Next time, if you're 15 years old, just get your mom to sit next to you to watch the stream so she knows what you're watching. Love your videos every time. Hope you'll keep going until you hit 1 million. Aw, thanks, man. Thank you, Noir. I'm pregnant with Ron's baby. Yeah. I got it now. I don't know who he was. I'm sorry. I don't follow him on Instagram. I don't have an Instagram.
Yes, I have seen Guns Akimbo. Me and my cousin Tommy watched it.
What the hell is Guns Akimbo?
Oh, okay, so you're like a pseudo dystopian world where there's this reality TV show where criminals basically are killing each other for money, and Daniel Radcliffe's character is kind of like this internet troll of sorts who like kind of gets on their like live streams and just, you guys are so like, why do you watch it? You guys are low lives. Well, the people who run the show go and find him, and they sedate him, and they put guns on his hand, like they bolt guns on his hands, and so he's running around like trying to now he's in this course, and there's a girl who's trying to fight him, and she has a history with the people who run the whole thing, and it's it's awesome. Yeah, me and Tommy watched it not too long ago.
We do have an Instagram for Near Mint Condition. Actually, I think Amanda started that up.
I did. Well, no, I just started.
Andrew, I am drinking. This episode is brought to you by Red Stripe. Don't be mad. Mini Amanda, let's make up.
They're all talking about you right now, Lyndon.
Are you putting makeup on?
No, Lyndon? It's just her fake makeup.
Tom Felton for Harry Osborn.
Oh my God, I would be totally all for that.
Who's Tom Felton?
That's Draco Malfoy.
Oh, that's Draco Malfoy. Nerd.
Lyndon, they said your brush technique is on fire. Is that good? Okay, she does not like the limelight like her mommy.
Whoa. That had the opposite effect. I have a confession. I like Machine Gun Kelly, and I can't wait to see Mulan once they put Eddie Murphy in the movie. I love this guy. I love that guy. Malfoy from Flash. Come on. What?
And he was good at Flash. He was in the Flash.
You guys are blowing my mind. I had no idea.
Actually, this would be a really fun segment. I would love to review all of the Harry Potter movies with Omar. Because how many times have you seen them, Omar?
Once.
And I've seen them. I can't even tell you. Even Chamber of Secrets was my least favorite.
I was on a date on the first 3 because the girls I would take out, they're like, "Oh, Harry Potter, you like?" I like girls that read, and they were like, "Oh, you gotta go see Harry Potter," and I'm like, "All right, whatever, let's go see Harry Potter." Dude, I don't even know what the first 3 were about. Like the third one, was that the one with the Chihuahua werewolf dog, or is that the second one?
You're on. You can't. He was fantastic. That was. Everyone agrees it's the best one in the whole franchise.
The one with the Guillermo del Toro one. I've only seen him.
No, Alfonso Cuarón, not Guillermo. You're mixing. Wow, racist! You're mixing up your Spanish directors over here.
I thought they were Mexican.
Whatever. You're still mixing them up.
You're gonna call me racist? Okay. You can't even get the goddamn right continent. Okay.
I don't like the second one though. The second one, man, Chamber of Secrets, and I
Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay.
Come on.
Omar racist. Come on. Omar was in front.
I
have seen.
He's so excited for his. He's so excited for
Zero Twilight.
Robert Pattinson as Batman. Actually, I am. No lie, I am excited for him.
I watched. What's it called? Lighthouse. I'm excited for Batman. It could be good.
I think because I think God, he did the right thing. He needed to get his name out there. Getting on a franchise like Twilight.
I like girls who read. I'm gonna quote John Waters, guys. My favorite John Waters quote is when he would go on a date with guys, and the guys would take him back to their house. I live by this quote. He was like, Lyndon can't hear me, right?
No.
Okay. So he said he would go back to their house, and if they didn't have a bookshelf with books, he'd be like, I'd leave. Fuck them. He was like, if they had books, they were getting laid because I like people that read. I live by that quote.
Yes. Jesse, I think Tenet is, interestingly enough, is the first movie that's still scheduled to come out if movie theaters open by like July. I think Tenet is first on the schedule.
What?
They have not moved Tenet's release date.
Who's in Tenet?
Hold on.
I don't even know what. New Twilight book incoming, Raz.
Yes, they're doing it from clearly the author who wrote fan fiction based
I love his films, man. I'm a big John Waters fan. So.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about that Twilight thing. That woman, Stephanie Meyer, is basically just making money off of, instead of expanding her story, she's rewriting her story from different viewpoints. Okay, whatever. Not a fan of that at all. So Tenet.
This quote helps me understand why creators Omar interviewed for his podcast were scared. Who's going to the theater in 2020? Me and Amanda are going to be watching Black Widow from her couch.
I got my Avengers cloth mask that I bought off of Etsy. I'll be sitting in that theater. I don't care.
She thinks because it's got Avengers on it, they're going to keep the coronavirus. Come on, Amanda.
Yes, opinions. Okay, I think, Clark Data, that it probably was a mistake of some kind because it doesn't make sense for it to be on Amazon. No offense to Amazon, but Disney is about synergy. If anything, and I would show up on Apple because, let's face it, Apple and Disney's relationship, or just Apple and Pixar's relationship, whatever you want to talk about, if you've ever read the Steve Jobs biography, I think it was a mistake. I don't think if it does come out soon, it's not, it was just, yeah, it may come out soon, but it won't be on Amazon first.
I think there's going to be a lot of backtrack.
Matthew, it will not. It will come out.
Boy. I can't get a word in. Can't get a word in just right now.
No, go ahead.
Is that okay?
Talk about Black Widow, because that's what Omar thinks, and I don't believe it. November is enough time away.
Can't get a word in now. We good? I was just saying, we don't know what the hell is up. We have no idea when things are going to get back to normal. Because even through all these different phases, at least here in America that we're going through, the movie theaters are going to freaking lose money, right? So I'm just using Trolls as an example. Trolls made so much money for, what was it, Trolls 2? Whatever it is, made so much money for Sony because they didn't have to pay movie theaters, right?
Yeah, they don't have that.
DreamWorks, right? Because they don't have 50% of the profit goes to movie theaters. They don't even have to do that. So it's like they made so much money, and it's sad. I don't want to because Amanda knows how much I love going to the movies. The movie theater is the only place that I can put this down and forget the troubles of the world or whatever the hell's going on in my life. So, but I think it's gonna come to are we really going to sell enough movie tickets? Because if it's still in November where we have to sit 6 seats
Yeah.
away from each other.
Sell out of theater.
There's no way they're gonna say we have to. They're gonna have to release it digitally too, and that sucks. I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying it's gonna come to the realization.
I don't think. Okay, I don't think they're gonna release it at the same time. What I do think is that
I'm out of beer.
What I think they're gonna do is try to shorten the window. So
same brother, same.
The reason he's talking about this, and Matthew said, I think the theater's gonna be empty when they're open.
Oh,
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I agree. If you've seen how people have been since it's gotten nice out, sitting outside in parks and the pictures, I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the protesters because none of those people are going to go to the movie theater to go see Endgame.
People getting tired of just getting, it's our flaw as Americans, maybe, if you will. Hold on one second, honey. So
it is interesting.
Go ahead.
It is interesting to see like other countries how they react and then how we will react, because I think a lot of Americans like will probably have that mentality like, screw it, I've been at home all week, I've been at home for months, I'm gonna go to the movie theater and enjoy it. But I think some may realize, you know what, we'll let the first wave go through. So yes, totally agree with that statement.
Yeah, in 2013, I agree. They should not have waited long.
So, Classy Ulysses, let me drop this on you though.
Family,
exactly. $20 a rental is expensive as shit. But think about it. If you have a family of 4, like your wife, your kids, right? 2 kids, 3 kids. Okay, multiple kids.
Oh, I'm serious. Like it's $10 for your ticket, $10 for Melanie's, $10 for the girls because they're not under 4.
That's a $40 without popcorn.
And you're not
$20, and my kids get to microwave their own popcorn. That's a deal, dude. Especially for things like Trolls, and I can say that because my friend Chris helped make that movie. So I'm just saying, like sometimes it's kind of a deal.
But I don't necessarily. They might. So when I first read about the Universal statement, and I read AMC, and I got a little mad at Universal for making a blanket statement, and AMC was going at it like we're AMC, and now I think the National Association of Theater Owners, they call them NATO, which I kept getting. I was like, wow, that's a fun acronym. That's not what that really stands for. They're saying, they don't like what Universal's saying. AMC's banned Universal movies from their theaters once they reopen. And at first I was like, you go AMC, show your strength. But the more I think about it, I more think of like AMC needs Universal, right? Because even if Universal's their main stuff is Fast and Furious and Jurassic World, they still have a huge percentage of the box office because Jurassic World, their movies are still in the top 5 as far as like all-time grossing. Right, and Fast and Furious is
that's just the game.
They're
gonna go back and forth. There's no way.
What I see is them working behind the scenes where we might see a shorter time between theatrical release and video on demand, because they're gonna give them time.
Oh, Clark Tornado's having a conversation with somebody else in the chat. Go ahead. Okay. Look at Amanda's face. She's trying to catch up. She's trying to catch up.
Marvel. They're probably talking about Captain Marvel. Yeah, I think so. We're not gonna. Okay, so what I think is that they need to negotiate a shorter time span between when it releases in theaters and the video on demand release is what they're going to end up negotiating, because that's what it really comes down to. Because right now, Universal's blanket statement is we're releasing them all at the same time. And yes, I can see that as a problem for movies like for Universal, Jurassic World, or Fast and Furious, because their main base may say, fuck it, I'm going to stay home and rent Fast and Furious 9. I'm not going to go see it in theaters because I don't want to spend the money. Even if our local theater here in Georgetown, Kentucky is only $5 a pop, they don't care. They don't want to have to go sit in the theater with people who are rude, where there's 30 minutes of commercials. So the theaters need to do their part to change the way the theater going experience is, and maybe entice people like Universal, Disney, etc., to not go into that whole, I'm going to release it both on demand and in theater at the same time. And that Netflix has always been the case because it's Netflix and they've started out as a streaming service. But for Disney, Universal, for Warner Brothers, that's not always been the case. So I understand theaters trying to fight for what's theirs. They are struggling. AMC could go bankrupt any second. They probably are already bankrupt. But as someone who loves the movie theater going experience,
they'll get a bailout, and they will be one of the companies that will buy out all these small video, like smaller
because I love
it. Is
theaters.
Well, I feel the same way about comic book stores. I feel
and
like
my words. I'm so sorry. I am a little drunk. I've finished this bottle of wine, guys, and it was like up to here. But this stuff. Okay, yes, Matthew, they do, and that is the problem. Like AMC, Regal, Cinemark, these movie chains, these large national movie chains. We've sat through them, Omar. Like
we don't arrive on time anymore.
Yeah,
like before, you would see movie like, and that's a whole different topic. Like
no, it is, but we're
because like I kind of miss the days. I kind of miss the days where I would see the trailers at the movie theater, and now because of the internet, because of YouTube, everything comes out, and you don't have to. That kind of takes away from the magic.
But weird commercials before the trailers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so I took Lyndon to see Frozen twice.
It is 40 minutes of trailers of local commercials.
My daughter, who's 4 years old, and when you see Frozen 2, which was a 2-hour plus movie. For a child, that's a very long time to sit. And they need to change that stuff. So for AMC and everyone who's complaining, they need to start making their theater-go experience more enticing for us. We're not going to movie theaters for a lot of other reasons, not just because it's more convenient, but because it's cheaper to not go to the movie theaters, because the experience is better. I could sit in my home and not worry about Bob over there on his phone texting or complaining or talking loudly, or those high schoolers in the back laughing inappropriately or talking throughout the entire movie. So yeah, I understand why Universal says what they say now. At first I was like, I love the movie going experience, but I think that AMC and other theaters experiences, when they come back, when they reopen, they need to start changing up the way they do business. They need to be more attentive to the actual movie, like calling out the people who are talking out, just removing people who are being rude or inconsiderate, lowering their ticket prices at first to get people back in the door, maybe things of that nature. I'm sorry, you have someone talking about the Jonah Hex Deluxe hardcover, and I just am going on my way.
No. I somebody else was commenting on the annoying movie theater goers. What I like going to, and Amanda and I love going to, is opening night. Because when you go on opening night, you're going with fans. You're going with like people that are not going to be asking questions like, who's that? Who's that character? What are they doing here? What does that mean? You're going to go with people that usually know comic books, or they know, like one of my friend used to run one of the local theaters, and I would love, like, Marvel would send them MCU, Disney now, would send them a code, right? To unlock the movie, and he would lock it out for like 10 of us at 2:00 in the morning on a Wednesday. But that was like one of my favorite experiences because I got to experience it by myself with like 10 other people that love this stuff. But Amanda and I love going opening night because you go with fans, right?
Yeah, you do.
And it's a great experience. I love going to the movie theater. I don't want to sit with Phil.
Very least.
Yeah. So to answer that question about Jonah Hex, I think DC sending me a copy of it, and I'll be reviewing it as soon as I get it because I'm excited for that book too. Oh, I remember a question I had. I want to collect the Ultimate Spider-Man figures. Where you been, Timmy Ray? Dude, it's getting to be late, man. I want to collect Ultimate Spider-Man. And I was wondering, would it be better to get the single issues or volumes? Because I do like single issues. Yeah. Then you answered your own question, brother.
Whatever you want to collect.
You get your single issues.
I like the volumes because of space and how I can put them up. But if you want single issues, that's your preference.
Yeah.
I read Ultimate Spider-Man. I liked it.
I don't like opening night because I want to watch a movie.
Oh, man. You should not be there with me on opening night Adventure Escape because I was like,
it's not all.
Oh my god! I think I stood up and clapped. I'm
It's
pretty sure I stood up and clapped.
it's not only that. It's people telling me, "Is she gonna talk the whole time?" And me going, "Yeah, you need to move, dude."
I
Because
didn't talk the whole time,
it
but during
doesn't
those
it does
pivotal
that's
scenes, I cheered, and with everyone else, I cheered like a motherfucker. I was like, ah!
yes, we do need an Uncle Doug movie, brother. We sure do. Ultimate Spider-Man hardcovers are pretty good, but they're also hard to find, so keep that in
Yeah,
mind too.
I
First
have.
morning session after opening night, hardly anyone in theater. That's a good way. That's how I watch
That's a good
Firefly.
time to watch it.
Yeah.
Yes, Freddie, I hate the lines too.
Amanda, can you shoot out my Instagram? I need more friends like the Flash and Justice League.
What? Who said that?
That was Jack. I love
Jack
talking.
Pierre, I'll do it for you, buddy. Don't worry about it.
I love talking during movies. Sorry, but I love it. Amanda and I do too. But usually it's because we're talking about the movie and what we should talk about when we
We are
review it.
really bad. What happened? We watched a movie together. Which movie was it? It's someone said
Oh,
something to me.
my brothers hate watching movies with
No,
us.
it wasn't that. It was a legit person said something to you and
Oh,
me.
because they're not legit.
No, I mean no, like not a person that's not family.
She's
Said
done
something
that.
to
She
you
does
and
that.
me.
She does that. Oh yeah, he was getting smart with me, and I was like, yeah, man, I ain't gonna tell her to shut up. She's gonna keep talking.
I don't remember what movie that was, but it was pretty hilarious.
Like, I don't want to be rude to people, so we usually sit away from a lot of people.
We do,
Right.
unless it's like
unless it's Avengers Endgame where we're
yeah,
like,
but there's no but everyone else is like everyone else is excited for the whole movie, so it's different. I mean, maybe when like me and Omar went to see Hellboy and we were like in the back, like
we were. There was like two people with us, so
or
it
like
doesn't
we went
matter.
to see Cats and it was just our family and old people.
Cats. Y'all made me drag my ass out to see Cats when I should have seen Little Women. They're putting Zdarsky's Invaders in OHD. Yes, they are. Yeah, you and I did.
Yeah, and it was a fantastic film. We both enjoyed it very much.
Shh. I'm gonna lose some cool points.
No, Omar loves Little Women, guys. It is his guilty pleasure. He loved the first one. He loves the new one with Greta Gerwig. He loves Little Women, guys. Your manly man, Omar, loves Little Women.
Shut up. I'm gonna strangle you if I could reach across the internet. I went to see Endgame the first morning after the first showing, and there were 3 seats in front of. Everything else was sold out. Yeah, that movie was sold out though.
It was.
The last movie I saw in theater was Avatar.
Wow.
Avatar 3D gave me a.
I could see that though. I've watched that recently on Disney Plus, and my daughter, 4-year-old daughter, actually loved watching Avatar, and I was surprised that she liked it so much because she doesn't like a lot of live action stuff. It's all animated.
Oh, thanks, guys. Nothing wrong with Little Women.
That's right.
Little Women makes you cooler, dude. I love Little Women.
Oh, it was a beautiful film. I mean, it has Timothée Chalamet, the next like rising star.
Not even what I was gonna be talking about.
I was gonna be in Dune.
Oh, I'm excited about Dune. I cannot wait.
Jack wants to know what my favorite sports team is. Okay, so here's the deal, Jack. So growing up, my parents were Giants fans and Jets fans because my mother was originally from upstate New York and my dad was from the Poconos area and I'm from Pennsylvania originally. So we always rooted for the Giants, the Jets, mostly the Jets because at the time the Giants were doing so hot. But then Eli Manning came along and so they've been doing a lot better, right? I think they've won a Super Bowl since Eli came on board. But then my mom and dad divorced. My mom remarried my stepdad, got into the Steelers. My stepdad grew up, born and raised Pittsburgh, so Steeler fan all the way. Other sports teams, I don't know. It's football for me. Football has been what I've grown up with. So I've been through the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger and, what's his name? Oh, God. I can't think of the guy's name, the coach's name. Anyways, at the time. But so I've been, I root for the Steelers because my whole family now roots for the Steelers. My dad still low-key roots for the Giants, though. And Steelers are a great team. A lot of, they have Jerome Bettis and things like that. So, anyway, I don't know if that matters to anyone, but I'll root for them. What is a sport? Anyway, so if that answers your question.
Mike Tomlin.
No,
Is this
okay.
still a movie?
So we've reached like 2 hours into this live stream, and I can't believe you are still here. And
I can't believe
love you so much for being here.
You all are
But
still
no,
here.
it is not. We do the first hour was, but it's gone off the rails. And yes, Race.
Ravens fan. A big no to the Steelers.
Yeah, you would not be a Steelers fan at all. Yeah. It's
Sports
funny
is
because
left.
my best friend. Nope, she's a Saints fan. I'm sorry. Excuse me. New Orleans Saints.
What was her name? Omar, School Amanda with some football knowledge. A real one where you. Yeah, man. What's up?
Go ahead. Yeah, tell me about the women's soccer league in the United States. Can you name some of those women like Mia Hamm?
Well,
or how I got to go see the women's soccer team play an exhibition match against China when I was when I was like 10 or 11 at the Hershey Park Stadium back in Pennsylvania. Can you talk about football? No, talk about football for me. Talk about soccer. Come on, talk about it, Omar. Talk about it.
Okay,
how's Peru doing? How's Peru? I'm curious. How's Peru doing? Because I could call up my father-in-law and know real fast how Peru's doing. How's Peru doing? I want to know how your football knowledge is.
Can I talk now?
Go ahead. Vanna like Beckham? No.
I was gonna say Mia Hamm.
I know too. Or the lady who's married to Glenn Doyle.
David Beckham.
No, Glenn Doyle is a writer, and she's married to a famous soccer player for the women's soccer team.
All right, Mia Hamm. Man, I love.
Yeah, I feel like we've got off the rails, guys. We might need to.
And on that note, I think it's time to call it a night. I gotta go upstairs to get another beer. So, thank you, every one of you who joined us.
I have no more wine.
Who joined us live? Who joins us later on? We'd love to know what you would rate this movie. Don't forget to hit that like.
Wait, I'm supposed to do this.
Button. All right, Amanda, why don't you take it from here? Sign us off, Amanda.
Thank you guys so much for watching our live stream about Was It Really That Bad? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our channels on social media at NearMintCon. Remember, we also do have a Patreon, so if you want to support our channel further, go ahead and check us out on Patreon. We also have some excellent merch on Redbubble, so check us out there as well. And next week, we'll be doing whatever you guys choose, so make sure to go on to YouTube Sunday to check out the poll that Omar will post. We're also doing spinning on Old Reader New Reader, so check it out. I've got my copy here. It just came in the mail. And other than that, if it's classy and cool, it must be in your mint. Have a good evening, everyone. We love you, and we will see you next week.
Can I answer the question now about soccer?
Yes. Whatever.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Much love to you all. Thank you for joining us. I'll be back on Friday night. Actually, I'm doing a live show on Friday night, 8 o'clock. So, be doing Transformers with Dan. So, if you want to join us for that. Thank you. Good night, everybody.